All right, let's talk about Nope. Let's talk about Nope. So Nope was a film that that came out a few weeks ago. I didn't have a chance to see it. I was gonna see it. There were some complications. Someone was gonna see it with wasn't available then, and so I decided we were just gonna wait and see it later. And so we saw Nope. I saw Nope with some friends the other day. And I want to talk about it here because this is the next segment. This is the review segment, and I wanted to talk about Nope. So let's talk about Nope. So Nope is a film directed by Jordan Peele. I'm sure you guys know who was famous for Key and Peele sketches. They're hilarious. They're great. They're funny. But since then, he has gone on to really become a prominent horror thriller director, which is a really interesting transition for a career if I've ever seen one. His first big feature film was Get Out, obviously, and that was a huge film. Was nominated for Best Picture, I believe Best Screenplay as well, and really put Jordan Peele on the map because I've seen Get Out. It is a great film. I really think it's a great film. It's not my favorite film of all time, but I really admire what Jordan Peele was going for there. The tension, the horror, the thrills, even the sci-fi sort of aspects of the film later on, and obviously the messaging as well. Really just quite a great film, quite a good film. Was Get Out. I have yet to see Us. And I will very soon. Actually, I'm planning on seeing it very soon because I want to fill out the Jordan Peele trifecta and see how he's evolved as a filmmaker. But I wanted to see Nope because it's in theaters, and I thought it would be a fun movie to see, and the reviews were very good and all of that. So we are going to do non-spoiler and then spoiler. I will clearly delineate when the spoiler section starts, so you guys know, and then we will move into the spoiler section there. So first of all, non-spoilers, no spoilers. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, I would not recommend watching this review. I'm going to talk about what's in the trailers, but nothing more than that. So if you haven't seen the trailers and you don't want to know anything, then skip ahead to the ranking of the week, and we will talk about Nope. You can come back and watch the video anytime that you want. Okay, so Nope is a film that I think the marketing was really interesting because the marketing really didn't give away that much about the film. You kind of had this sense that there was this sort of looming presence, and there is, I think the second trailer gave away a lot more, that there was this sort of alien presence in this sort of quiet area with Daniel Kaluuya's character, whose name is OJ, and his sister, played by Keke Palmer, whose name is Emerald. And they're sort of living on this area, and there are these mysterious happenings with these horses, and there's sort of this mystery going on, and that's really all you could get from the trailers. And so I just went in pretty much blank, kind of knowing that there might be some alien, but also knowing that Jordan Peele, Jordan Peele is a director who likes to subvert expectations, at least from what I've seen from Get Out and what I've heard about from Us as well. So what I will say off the bat is the performances are great. All the performances are really great. You have Daniel Kaluuya, who is just continuing to turn in great performances after Get Out and after, obviously, Black Panther as well. I believe he's in Us as well. I could be wrong about that, but again, just everything that he's done in the past 5 or 6 years, it's been great. Keke Palmer, everybody has said she stole in the show. She was great in the film. I think she was really great. She brought a great energy into the film as well. There are a couple other supporting characters that I didn't even know were in the film, so I'm not going to spoil that for you guys if you don't know. I will say that they all do a great job. Everybody does a great job, but it's really not about the characters, and that's a really interesting thing. I think the characters are not the point. And I think that in Get Out you had, and I don't want to just constantly compare Get Out and Nope, because those are the two Jordan Peele films that I've seen. But I think that the characters in Get Out were a little more rich and three-dimensional. I think that the characters in Nope are not, they're very smart plays on archetypes of characters and subversions of characters, but they themselves are not the part of the film that I care about that much. What I will say about the film is that it knows what it wants to be. And it very clearly has some really interesting messages and themes in the film. That being said, I am always a huge proponent of film doing, at any given point in a film, it should be doing more than one thing. It should not just be story, and it should not just be action, and it should not just be dialogue. It should not just be setup. It should not just be themes. It should be doing a lot of different things at once. And what I found in Nope is there are significant sequences of the film that bear no weight on the story, and instead are really just there in hindsight to really provide some themes for the characters that you don't really see at the time. And now I understand that these are important. Themes are important for movies, especially Jordan Peele's films, where the themes are big parts of why he makes these films. I understand that. That being said, this film was set up to be sort of a mystery thriller, right? There's sort of this air of uncertainty of what is going on throughout the majority of the first bit of the film. And by inserting these other scenes in there that I'm not going to spoil, obviously, but just these scenes there that are clearly there that seem important, at least at the time. I understand the idea of red herrings, that maybe that these aren't that important, but it's almost like Chekhov's gun. If you haven't heard of the principle of Chekhov's gun, obviously Anton Chekhov, a very prolific writer, and he had this principle of if you show the gun early on in the story, it has to come back into play later on. And there are several dangling loose plot threads that are just there to set up themes in the film. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Get Out was consistently tense. Consistently tense. There are significant portions of Nope that I was losing my interest in the film. And were very slow. And very, they were dragging quite a bit. I wasn't falling asleep necessarily, but I was losing significant interest in the film. Now, there are other parts of the film that are tremendously well done. The action is great. The tension is great. The suspense, the music, the way that the camera shoots the scenes are fantastic. But I don't know. I feel like this film from Jordan Peele is a lot more substance over... No, how do I want to say it? It's a lot more of trying to tell you something rather than trying to tell you a story. That would probably be the best way that I could put the film Nope, is that it is really... It seems more like it knows what it wants to say rather than what it wants to be, if that makes sense. I didn't dislike the film. I didn't like it either. And I think that the more that I've thought about the film, the more that I've appreciated it as what it's trying to be, or what it's trying to say. But I also don't think that it's a film that quite works as a whole. I think there are individual parts that work quite well, but I also think that there are individual parts that clearly, again, there's nothing here that's sloppy. I want to be clear. There's nothing in the film that's very sloppily made. There's nothing in the film that Jordan Peele, you can kind of go, oh, well, he's kind of losing his touch. No, not at all. I think that everything in this film is intentional and well made in that regard. I just think that some of the aspects of the film and some of the questions that it sets out to make out to be very important, and yet answers them in a very quick way that I think that is very disappointing. So, is this a recommendation to see Nope? I think that if you're interested in Jordan Peele's work and you want to see it, then I think absolutely. But if not, I wouldn't actually recommend seeing the film at all. And I know I made a review of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I didn't like the film. I know I'm one of the only people in this entire world that don't like the film. I understand. I don't care. It's fine. And I know that I don't like Nope, and it has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. So maybe it's just me, maybe there's something wrong with me. But again, these are just my honest experiences with these films, and I wanted to share them with you as well. Okay, let's talk about spoilers. So 3, 2, 1, final spoiler warning. You have been warned. Let's talk about spoilers for Nope. Okay. Let's talk about the chimp. Let's talk about Gordy. I think that it's one thing to have a red herring, right? And say, well, look at this thing. It could be the answer to your questions. It's another thing to have a sequence that bears no weight on the film other than to talk about the themes of human exploitation on predatory life and what we do with our subsequent trauma. I think that's fine, But I think that you kind of look at this and you kind of look at the payoff that it has where Steven Yeun's character dies like halfway through the movie. And the movie quickly transitions into something else, like an action film, almost. And I think that, that's fine. But again, I think that starting your film with Gordy, the first scene in the movie with Gordy, and then continuing onwards, and having it be this really traumatic scene is another thing, because you're setting up all these sorts of things that really don't quite pay off, at least story-wise later on. I know thematically they pay off. But again, it's hard for me to enjoy that when I look at a film and go, you could have cut that 30 minutes out because it really didn't do anything to move the story forward. And I will say, in addition to that, the question that really was on my mind was, what is this thing? This UFO thing. I think that's the question that's being set up, right? I could be wrong about this. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. What is this UFO thing? And I think it's disappointing that it's just some creature. I think that it was begging for it to be something more than just some creature. I was trying to connect dots all over the place. Like, is Gordy maybe this alien somehow, like piloting this ship? I think it's clever that the UFO ends up being an alien in itself, but I don't think it really landed for me at all. So that by the time the film ends, I'm like, I guess, like, this is some sentient life form. Like, fine, where did it come from? What is it? Like, why is it? Maybe this is just my mind trying to, so trained to want to know the answers to these questions for other sci-fi things. But I just think that it's, I think that it didn't quite land for me as well as it should have. Aside from that, I think that the film is really interesting. I like the title card things, although I still am not quite sold on the title of Nope. I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, because I think that I got a lot out of the experience, just like how I did out of Everything Everywhere All at Once. But these are two films that I'm not going to see again, I don't think. Because, and I understand maybe I missed some things and all that sort of stuff, but I think that the lingering feeling, though, the underlying feeling that I got after watching these two films was really just dissatisfaction. And I understand if you guys disagree with me, that's totally okay. But I just wanted to, again, these are my honest thoughts about the film. And I think that again, the twist at the end of it being an alien, like, that's fine, but that's not really the question that I wanted answered. Like, the question I wanted answered is why? And what is it? And where does Gordy have to play into all of this? So, yeah, I think it was worth seeing. I think Get Out is far superior to Nope. And I don't even love Get Out to that like S tier level. I think Get Out is a great film, but I remain interested, let's say, every time Jordan Peele makes a film. It's not the same as I'm going to rush out to the theater and see every single thing Jordan Peele makes, if that makes sense. But again, I appreciate a filmmaker taking a chance on something like this. I really do. So that is those are my thoughts on Nope. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we can have a discussion about it there.